Welcome back, everybody. My name is Gregtech, and this is Gregtech New Horizons. So at the end of the last video, I was running down a couple of different paths. The biggest one probably being the distillery tower, making a ton of stainless steel over in my single EBF. One of the things I did do was I doubled up on my generators so that I would have a full amp of EV power running around through these things, because at one point the EBF stopped because I started that wonderful nitrogen monstrosity that was over there, and it ended up using, well, the one almost uses 1 amp of HV by itself, but along with the loss of traveling along the cable, not enough of it reached the EBF and it ended up dying, and I lost 1 stainless steel. So I doubled up on those things in order to make sure that I had enough power to power my automation and run my EBF at the same time. It is now a dangerous hazard zone because it now makes enough pollution that I get at least the initial sickness, the slowness, weakness, sometimes hunger from that mess. So in any case, what I did accomplish is I prepared everything I needed to make the distillation tower. Specifically, I'm working on the one that uses wood tar in order to make the toluene and benzene so that I can continue to run benzene power, but at the same time also get toluene, which I can use with my nitrogen setup over there in order to make the gelled toluene. So in any case, I have here the HV energy hatch that's necessary, 1 output bus. I don't know that I need the output bus for wood tar. I forget if it needs that or not. I don't think it does. I know it does for fermented biomass, but I don't know about this one. 1 maintenance hatch, 5 output hatches for the 5 different liquids, and then the 1 input hatch for the wood tar itself. So there is my distillation controller, and there are the 40 stainless steel that the distillery quest requires. So that completes my distillery quest. That is very handy. The other thing I have prepped at the moment right here is 2 ingots of soldering alloy. And the reason I have 2 ingots of soldering alloy is because in one of the previous videos I made the I made the HV, this guy, the HV circuit assembler. I'm not sure where I want to put this guy. I don't have a whole lot of room left in here. One of the other things I am working on, I think it's in this bag. Yeah, I'm working on the zinc plates and the steel wire in order to expand this guy out to be a 7x7. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and knock this guy loose. That's just the energy hatch on the outside. So I should be able to put that there, put this guy here, and then slap these on like this, process it in there, and then I can put, I've got 1, where is it? I've got 1 HV battery right here. HV battery can go in there, and the whole reason I'm going through this rigmarole is so that I can make my 1 mainframe that I need in order to complete the circuit quest. That should have dinged a quest complete, I would have thought. There it is for that IV circuit mainframe. It takes the 2 aluminum frames, the 2 workstations, the 12 small coils, 16 random access memory, and 16 annealed copper wire. And it looks like I'm missing one other thing. What other thing am I missing? Let's go with uses here, jump over here, and go over to that. Oh, 16 SMD capacitor. I did not know it needed that. I should check one other thing though, and that is, let's go with mainframe. I just want to make sure that it has enough power to run that thing. The mainframe runs, yeah, it runs half an EV battery, a little over half of an EV battery. Or HV battery, my apologies. Ooh, an EV battery. I wish I had one of those. Let's see here. So, capacitors. Look at that. I've got enough. It needs how many? 24. No, only 16 if you're using the SMDs. Okay. 16 capacitors. Let's go with that. There we are. My wonderful glider on my dark armor. Save a little bit of energy. All right, you're still running at peak efficiency, which is amazing. And there we go. So we'll let that run as long as this guy stays at 100% efficient. And then this guy will complete. How long does this take? Not too long, I hope. 80 seconds, a little over a minute to get through this. So this thing has a little bit of time here to fail on me. I just hope it doesn't, and then hope that if it does, it's only 10%, and then I still roll that 90% and get this thing cleaned. That would be terrible otherwise. So let's see, what else do I have? I have in here, is it this bag? No, I have in this bag. I have the 68 jars. Well, I guess I only need 67. There are 67 different Essentia. I have 67 jar labels for these jars, and then I have the rest of the stuff that I need in Essentia buffers, Essentia tubes, my wands, and then in the other bag over here I have the Arcane Alembic and the Alchemical Furnace that I need in order to start setting up my thaumcraft area. I just haven't gone over there to do it yet. I have an idea for a small design that I want to do there, and I just haven't been over there to complete that yet. As I said, I'm also working on the filters in order to expand this guy, so off camera and stuff I'm going to be working on making all of these things into the fine wire, get these things into the foil, and I still need, I think it's another, I think this was 1 stack of steel. I still need another 5 stacks of steel to go through, and that's in between running more stainless over in the EBF in order to get that done. You guys saw the reinforced obsidian, so the next step after this, once I catch a break from smelting a good sized chunk of stainless, is to bring a few stacks of ender pearls and some wood and do the whole jump above the nether and then drill down through the bedrock on the roof of the nether in order to make a spot up on the ceiling where I can put my powered spawner and start a wither farm. So that should be a ton of fun. There it is, and my thing didn't drop at all in efficiency. So there is that IV mainframe. That should complete that quest. There it goes, quest complete. And if we jump over to HV, there it is there. Now, why does it want... Oh, it even tells you right here you need the 16 capacitors. I can't believe that I didn't realize that. But it looks like this quest must be done for now. I don't see anything above it, but I do know that that one thing is what is necessary in order to get through the space race, in order to get past this guy. Oh, it looks like that did open up Steve's factory manager. I'm wondering, does one of these things maybe? Processor machine casing? Oh yeah, look at that. 4 IVs to make this processor machine casing in order to get into SFM properly instead of just Steve's carts. But this thing will be going instead towards the space race and working on afterwards towards this quest right here, getting to the moon and collecting the first bit of moon dust. So in any case, I am going to set up my distillery over there, and then I'm also going to be working on those filters while my stainless is running. I'll bring you guys back in once I have a working setup for my distillery tower. Quite a bit of time has passed. It's the next day, actually. I recorded the last bit late at night. I have my distillery up. As you can see, it is a, what is that, a 6-high? Yeah, 6-high distillery, one that is prepped and ready for the, what do you call it, wood tar. I've already got it preloaded with some wood tar. I already have the high voltage transformer over here, and right here next to it is where the other, where's one of the 8 high is going to go, right here in this little spot there, and that one will also be using the high voltage transformer, so it's okay that it's sitting right next to it. As you can see, I also pulled down everything from up there, rerouted some lines, and I brought things over to here. My wood tar is now almost to 1,000,000 buckets, but I'm basically just letting it sit here and run for right now instead of using up that wood tar. I'm just trying to get this thing to fill up before I start pulling stuff and allow, once that thing's at the full 4 million, to allow this guy to fill up some as a backfill, just so that I'm not burning through everything. My diesel is currently just under 1.5 million buckets, and that is because I was running even more of my stainless through. I did have to make it take a break and run the what did I run? Some aluminum through there. So this is my current setup of stuff. I have this much stainless, so that's 4, 5, 6, 6.5 stacks. I've got another 3 stacks to go with a little 10 left over. And then there's what's left of my aluminum ingots. And that was all just doing stuff like getting various transformers. You can also see that I ripped up the old benzene gas turbine that was right here, along with the high voltage fluid tank. And in one of these bags, this one right here, I have the benzene from the fluid from the storage tank there. And then no, it's this bag. In this bag here, I have my advanced gas turbine that was in the top part running the distillery, and the turbo gas turbine, which was sitting right there. So now I have all of my entire base running off of that power setup right there. That'll make it easier in the future to start setting up other power lines and just replace the lines that are underneath in order to get power upgraded. That will probably be where I end up building the PSS, the power substation, when I get to making that giant monstrosity. It can sit there and all my power lines and stuff can run off of it. Eventually the EBF and the implosion compressor will make its way over to that dirty power section, but for now that is where it's sitting. Let's see. One other thing I should go ahead and do is to get this guy charged up. That one's not charged up either. Let's see. Let's grab my watering can and get these guys charged up real fast. And move those torches. There we go. So let's grab all of this. Not a whole lot of yellow orbs in all of that mess there. Let's see. It did get up to 40 though, so let's give it one more run, and that'll get it all the way up to 50. Now the whole reason I want to do that is because I did start to set up my infusion altar. There isn't much to it right now. Right now I believe it is just kind of sitting there. Let's see if I can hurry up and get this done, because there's one other thing that I do want to do eventually. All right, here we go. Let's get that knocked out, and get those. There we go. And let's look. All right, a full 50 there, and that one caught up to 40. You can see I've added in some other layers. As I run through here, I may get the pollution sickness, because that one chunk is filled with pollution. But here is my initial setup. You can see I dropped it down from the top layer and onto what normally would be where the pipes and stuff go. I've got a little bit of a build that I have in mind for that. But in any case, there is my infusion altar. Look at that. Excellent. So that took 25 of every resource out of my wand, and there is my infusion altar setup. If we take a look at the adept thaumaturge in order to get... I'm hoping to do any one of those rods, and that any one of those rods will then give the next line for whatever I might want to do. In this case, it's making an obsidian rod using an obsidian stick, 2 balance shards, and 2 earth crystals. I may want to actually go back and do like the blazing rod instead, since I do end up having a lot of the whatever the fire ignis is. But in any case, that is now the infusion altar. I will start working on the next part, which is why I wanted to bring you guys along with. You can see in that bag I had the stuff with me. I've got a few stacks of dark oak saplings, some bone meal, and some ender pearls, and the whole reason I have all of that stuff is to, of course, float my way all the way down here to the portals. And I am probably going to go through and clean up a lot of these, a lot of those guys over there. Those markers aren't really necessary anymore. Those were around the original first base, as opposed to these that are around the second base here. And even then, I really don't need the ones from this base, other than needing to know where the portals are. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Anything that is over 2,000 blocks away, let's just go ahead and yoink it. Let's start down here and go down this way. And that should clean up those markers that were here up by the old base and up and around. Yeah, that looks quite a bit cleaner. Now there's not nearly as many of those things. Anyway, on to the Nether. This setup is nice because as we pop in, I've got it mainly blocked off. Not a whole lot ever spawns in here. I've got a path down to lava, which is where I was getting my lava from, and then I've got this path that runs all the way up here, and I've got it marked as stairs 120 down because I built everything all the way up to the 120 mark, trying to get things done. How I went back and forth between the old base and the new base was there's that home and there's that 120 down, and then I've got these paths that are cut through here in order to get back over here. So let's go ahead, and I don't want to make this too big, but I do want to not kill myself. There it is. That's good. Let's see here. Do I have a spot where I can? This might be a good spot right here. Let's see if we can do this then. There we go. Whoops, and I'm going to go jumping elsewhere, aren't I? Boink. Oh, yeah. That's helpful. Always glad to catch something like that on camera. All right, well, let's go ahead and sleep this off, and I'm going to grab another stack of pearls from up in the top, and I'm actually going to go ahead and take a break, and I'll join you guys back once I'm back up by my by my corpse. I'll be right back. All right, I am back up here. Grabbed myself 2 stacks of pearls, made my way around, and got back up here. I should probably mark, well, I've got a death marker where I died, right? Oh no, that's the stairs down, so I should be just like right over here where I actually died. Or not where I died, but where I popped up and out and through. It should be 1 block off. Oh no, because I jumped up onto the roof. All right, so somewhere right around here. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, wonderful. Thank you, game. You know, because that's what I wanted. Alright. Let's hope another one of those doesn't spawn while I'm trying to get my stuff. Of course I didn't bring a weapon. I completely forgot that's a thing that happens with your corpse spot. So, throw my armor back on and put all my stuff back on here. That one goes there. Left hand, right hand. Right click, put on my copter pack. There we go. Alright. That guy, and then move all these guys down. Tool bag, build a bag, magic bag, middle bag. Alright. With all of that done, now I've got my middle bag here. Where did I put it? Don't tell me I made it all the way up here. And I don't have any dirt. Oh my word. Now I've got to figure out how I'm going to get back down. Anyway, I will see y'all back in a bit. Alright. Had to launch some nether pearls, basically kill myself, go back, get some dirt, and come back up. This time I went ahead and made a marker called up to the roof for where I went through with the ender pearl originally. Yeah, it was in line with that. Ooh. No thank you. No thank you. I don't have, of course, my my crossbow in my toolbar. That's gonna be great. Let's see here. Let's see if I can do this and get far enough away to give me a chance at getting my... Oh, geez, he is fast. Let's try this. There we go. Get my crossbow out. There we go. Well, isn't that fun? That's another lesson for you. Learn to keep your weapon on your hotbar when in the nether, even when you think you're safe, because those ghost, I think those are called ghost class mobs, can go right through anything, including the bedrock. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Enough fooling around. Let's get this thing over with. Grab out this stack there. I don't need that there. And then the bone meal. I don't need that either. And that should do it. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that that's out of the way, grab my... That'll work. Matic. Knock out the bottom 4. And that one didn't work. This is why you bring a lot of bone meal and a lot of the dark oak wood, is because that's what happens pretty frequently. Apparently really frequently. Come on now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try this again. Come on. No. What's supposed to happen is it's supposed to grow a set of sapling stuff. Basically, I'll have... Yeah, there we go, like that. And what I'm looking for are trunks. This one doesn't seem to have very many here. But when it grows these tree parts like that, it should give a couple of pieces of wood, and it did not. What it'll normally do is some of these outcroppings here will be down here, and they'll grow through the bedrock. So let's go ahead and knock this out again, and we'll try again here. And we'll keep trying until... There we go. Until we get something that breaks through. There's one, like this. And it did not break through, though. And neither did that one. I guess I picked a spot where it's pretty thick. Ah, that's close. Yeah, that's only one high, though. That won't get us out. Well, I'm going to keep doing this until I get something that will allow us to break through and get down into the Nether again. So I'll cut away while I keep going here. Alright, that didn't take long. A couple of trees later, I decided to move the blocks over by one to see if I could get a tree trunk to drop down through this roof access one, and instead happened to have gotten another one to drop down right through here. So the nice thing about that is, well, I can't jump it, but I can use my copter pack and get up and out, and there we are, a nice access way to the Nether, using vanilla mechanics from 1.7.10. So it's a cheaty way, but you know, it works. All right, so I'm going to clean this mess up, and then I am going to look at setting up an initial wither area, specifically a spot to farm the skeletons, and then also have an area for the wither skeletons to be farmed and deal with stuff like that. So I'm going to cut away, get all that stuff set up, and we'll see you back here in a bit. Alright, I'm back one last time, and I have my wither killing setup right here. What this is right now is I have this basic capacitor that I got out of one of the loot bags, connected to an HV battery buffer with one battery in it. I've got an aluminum cable, even though it'll only do 1 amp. This thing should never draw that much power. I have a switch, and then if I pop this open right here, I have a set of Ender IO energy conduits and redstone conduits running over to the spawner, and then in the spawner I have it set up so that it is set to active with signal. So as long as my little switch there isn't in the down position, it will do just fine. And then over here is my wither killing thing. I set this extra layer of stuff here so that when he shoots out his stuff, it can't accidentally come over here and blow up my wither spawn area. And that way if I shut it off because there's like an epic mob in there or something, and I come over here and I'm working on a wither waiting for it to despawn, I don't have to worry about him accidentally hitting it, breaking it, and then the epic monster getting out and, ferociously killing me. The lights I've also set up to hopefully deter pigmen from spawning. I've had a couple of pigmen spawn in here, so hopefully that takes care of that. I have my Heartseeker with my vanadium steel bolts, and I've got my vanadium steel cleaver there. Let's see here. Miscellaneous loot junk from the pigmen that I killed just a bit ago. Most of this stuff I usually end up throwing out, and I just, actually that sword has Reaper 2 on it. Reaper is supposed to be good. I'll hold on to that until I can extract that. Get rid of those things. I also want to set up this table, this tool table, just so that I can repair both the cleaver and the bolts as I need to. And then I've got plenty of soul sand. I jumped out the side and went and found some soul sand. So that was nice and easy. I don't think I've scanned a wrath shard yet. I have not. There we go. There's a wrath shard. I already did the nether shard, as you can see there. This golden sword is worthless to me. But in any case, let's give this thing a run. Let's go ahead and turn it on and allow some skeletons to spawn. Shouldn't take too long. It does, I think at its base level, it does something like 11 mobs a minute. So there we go. There are some wither skeletons. There's even, of course, some regular skeletons every once in a while. There we go. Beat these guys up. And then if they get stuck around corners to where I can't get them, I do always have this method. Now that doesn't work so well when I'm dealing with skeletons, but there we go. There's our first 2 wither skeleton skulls. Just need a third. So I'm gonna get a third, knock out this quest, and then I'm going to go off camera and work on farming up some, what do you want to call them? There we go. Come here, guys. And that's the one thing you do have to watch out for, is having them accidentally escape. There we go. Ooh, 2 skulls from that one. Probably 1 from beheading and 1 from looting. Not gonna complain about that. But yeah, so that is my setup in a nutshell. What I can do now, or what I will do off camera, is, well, actually, I've got you all here real quick. Let's just double check. I believe all I need to do is, oh, it just has you do that, and that completes the quest. So let's go ahead and get this stuff set up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. There he is. And we can sit right back here. Lots of noise, sorry. He's got 300 health points, that is crazy. But there we go. Our first wither killed, right there. I don't know if that's worth anything. Let's check. Let's see. Kill all the things. I don't see... I might have to work on killing some other things in the meantime in order to get this stuff done. Kill some pigmen, kill some ghasts and some blazes, and then work on some endermen and some witches. Interesting that those haven't gone up, but I get zombies all the time. And a bunch of spiders, and a bunch of skeletons, and a bunch of creepers. So, I am going to, apparently I'm also going to get a lot of loot rewards there. Greed shard, pride shard. Oh, I'm going to need to scan those. And those will allow for extra eggs as well. That'll be excellent. Alright, let's do that real quick. Scan this. Scan the greed shard. There we go. Miniature yellow heart. Apparently I already had one of those. Yeah, I didn't think coins scanned. There's that. There's my nether star scanned. And now that, of course, now that I've got a nether star, I can start thinking about making... getting on with the space race. That will be fun. So I am going to move right along and work on that stuff off the camera. See you in a bit. And I'm back one last time. I have in my lathe 1 diamond rod, and over here I have a pair of steel minecart wheels, and of course those are going to be part of this diamond dolly. Now the reason I'm making the diamond dolly is pretty much so that I can be cheap. Normally what I have to do is run around back and forth with batteries between here and in the nether with the setup, and rather than having to do that all the time, it's a lot easier if you make a diamond dolly and then you do this. The easiest thing to find, and I don't think I have it on there anymore, I chopped down, but right here was one of those wicker men, those hay bale tall things, and underneath those, at least as far as I've looked, every time I've looked under them, there has been a a skeleton spawner, just a plain vanilla skeleton spawner. Now, you can use a roguelike dungeon skeleton spawner with a powered spawner in order to make wither skeletons, but I don't believe you can use the thing itself using a diamond dolly. I think it keeps like the metadata for it being the roguelike dungeon spawner, and so instead you want to look for one of these guys where this wicker man was. Right down here is one of these plain skeleton spawners. Now the diamond dolly, which requires you to have a nether it requires you to have a nether star plate, and unfortunately the nether star plates run, you have to compress 9 of them into a block and then cut the block in order to get a single plate. So you're stuck farming 9 of them before you can make one diamond dolly. But at least with the diamond dolly, if you start with a powered spawner, you can upgrade to just a regular spawner. Maybe it's not an upgrade to you guys, but it definitely is to me. And you can take that into the nether and it will spawn wither skeletons in it. So I'm just going to drop on down here into the old base. There we go. And we're going to go in here with this spawner and stick it up where the powered spawner is currently. There we go. And I'm just going to head up here. One thing I do want to double check, did I put it away, I hope, and not put it into my farm? Well, I may have to use a piece of stone or something in its spot. Right now I have the what is it, the power cables that run underneath the thing, and I won't need the power cables anymore, but I need something to stick where that thing was. So one of the things I also did was I switched out and got my put my piston boots back on so that I can easily jump up these things. I hear you, Ghast. I don't know where you are, but I hear you. But anyway, I can go ahead and do this. Take this guy out now. I can also knock these things out. Now I may want to keep some of this, specifically the redstone signal, or maybe the red. I don't think I need the power, but definitely like the redstone signal, and get one of the Ender IO lights or something so that I can put it in place here. Let's see, if I put that one there instead, actually, you know what? I've got all these lab blocks under here. I'm not going to put this thing down until, well, maybe it's not all of these lab blocks under there. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab this guy and that one, and sure, that one too. All right, now I've got enough that I can not have to use that, and I can put all of those back like so. Oh, I turned off the glider. Glider helps a little bit when you're dealing with trying to run around. Let's do that and that. Right, I can still see around there. That'll be good. And then what I can do is I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, middle. Right there. Okay, well, I made that mistake, didn't I? All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and call this video here. I'm going to work my way back over to that area, not there, back over to my old base and work on getting my corpse back and all of my stuff. So I will see you guys in the next video. Till then.